Thank you, Madam,
Yes.
for providing me this opportunity to give as detailed a reply as all the members have raised very important issues. And before I start, let me thank all the members by their names for having participated in this. Shri Rahul Gandhi, Professor Saugata Roy, Kalikesh Narayan Singh Dev, Shri Arvind Sawant, Shri Jaydev Galla, Shri Mohammad Salim, Shri Dhananjay Mahadik, Shri Dharmendra Yadav, Jitendra Reddy Garu, Jay Prakash Narayan Yadav ji, Shri Mallikarjun Kharge ji, Kunyalan Kutti ji, Bhagwant Singh Maan ji, Anurag Thakur, of course, from our party, Prem Singh Chandu Majra ji, Kaushalendra Kumar ji, Nishikant Jube, and also Shri N.K. Pemachandran. Thanks for all the members who have taken a keen interest in a very important topic, which I think much more than all we want to say about. I've not even begun.
She's not yielding.
I've not even begun.
वो भी आदत से मजबूर. Why? What is all this?
मैं जरूर. No, I will speak, madam. Thank you. It just shows how much facts are frightening the Congress party.
Yes. Yes.
I'm standing here today to give point by point answer to the questions raised not just by the Congress in the opposition, but by every member of the party, this house,
Good.
who have shown interest in the topic, and I want to reply them with facts. And if facts are going to frighten the Congress party and they don't want me to answer, I'm sorry, it's very disappointing that senior members from the party in the opposition, much before I can't even start, don't want to hear my reply. It's very, very disheartening. It's very disheartening, madam. This country will have to understand that defense purchases are of national security related and therefore very, very important. Yes. National security is important whether they are in power or we are in power or any other party is in the ruling in this country.
Yes.
National security demands that all of us, yes, discuss issues, yes, raise questions on issues, but we cannot run away from the facts. We cannot run away from getting the required answers on which, rightly, in Parliament, questions have been raised. So thank you very much, madam. I am going to seek your indulgence so that by point, I'm going to have to give reply. Yes. Now let's understand, how is our neighborhood? Our neighborhood for India is thank you if you know it. Please have the patience and gracefulness to accept that I have a chance to speak now. Ma'am, please, I would want to tell you, ma'am, the environment around India is very, very volatile. And we've had wars both in the western frontier and in the northern borders. It is important for us to understand, therefore, that India, all of us would want, whoever is in government, would want to have peace in our neighborhood. We'll do everything to keep peace. But it cannot be at the cost of the operational readiness of our armed forces. Yes. It cannot be at the cost of making our armed forces feel that enough is not being given to them to fight. We've had enough number of wars in this neighborhood, and therefore we should recognize that timely getting of equipments for our armed forces should be the priority for any government. Skirmishes or military standoffs keep happening. All of us recognize that these two borders are always highly sensitive, and it is important for us to timely, in time, purchase the required ammunition or the platforms which are required. And in that context, I would want to say, first of all, remembering Sri Atal Bihari Vajpayee, who in his period started the motion for this 126 MMRCA. It was in his period in 2001, post-Kargil war, that we thought it was important that we should start doing something to give the Air Force enough power, air power. And of course, it was Vajpayee ji who said, and I quote his words, We can change our friends, but not our neighbors. Let's remember that. Our neighborhood being what it is, we really cannot, but we cannot really sit back and watch, nor can we change the neighborhood. And if that's the case, is it not our duty as government, for anybody who's in government, to recognize the sense of urgency with which we have to deal? I would want to give you the picture of how we stand precarious sometimes in decision making, and it is requirement for the leadership to take that call. How was our neighborhood developing in the last 10 years? China added 400 aircrafts between 2004 and 2015. Fourth generation aircrafts, fighter aircrafts like J-10, J-11, J-16, Su-27, Su-30 were all being added to the Chinese arsenal. Even fifth generation stealth fighters were being added. If that's about China, what about Pakistan? They increased their total number of aircrafts by more than double. They had F-16 bought in, and also they added 43 JF-17 class Chinese aircrafts to the arsenal. Now, if this is China and Pakistan, what were we doing in India? In 2002, we had 42 squadrons. In 2007, this came down to 36 squadrons. Further, by the time it was 2015, it was reduced to 33 squadrons. Our neighbors are increasing their capacity, and we, who should have supplied the Air Force with enough power, the motion having commenced in 2001 under Atal Bihari Vajpayee, kept moving at snail's pace, and we did not have, even by 2014, did not have what was moved by Atal Bihari Vajpayee. A deadlock situation was created, and we were left with no additional aircrafts, and we are constantly being reminded there was a deal. We gave this much money. Where was the 126 aircraft? Where were they? Have they got it? What price did they pay? What is this 526 crore that they're constantly talking about? I'll come to that. 2001, NDA gave in principle agreement or approval for the procurement of 126 MMRCA. And the user requirements were also issued, which is called the Services Qualitative Requirement, SQRs, about which Manya Shri Rahul Gandhi ji referred in 2006. These SQRs were issued in 2006. The deal only reached a deadlock in 2014. From 6, when the SQRs were issued, and in 14, you leave the government without anything bought. The sense of urgency, the neighborhood. I'm being reminded that we don't need to talk about the neighborhood. All of us know about it. Oh, all of us knew about it. Did you do something about it? Did you do something about it? Did you get the aircrafts? 2006, the SQRs were released. And in 14, even further, I'll go even further, ma'am, please. The reasons for the deadlock, even then, were not clear. What was the deal? They were negotiating for 18 aircrafts to be bought in a flyaway condition, and the rest were not to be produced with, let us say, the HAL. The sense of urgency made you think that you should get 18 in flyaway condition. National security is important. I would have presumed that's the reason they went for 18 flyaway, and the rest 108 to be produced in India over an 11-year period in their agreement. I want to know if the national security and the sense of urgency, which again, Sri Rahul Gandhi reminded us, when the SQRs were issued, there was a sense of urgency which was also mentioned. Till today, you have not bought aircraft was a very emotionally charged member asking. Very legitimate question, I agree. But 18 flyaway you couldn't obtain by the time it was 2014. After 2006, you went away without even getting the 18 flyaway. I want to know why. Why? There wasn't an agreement, there wasn't a deal, you didn't buy any, and today you get up to say, what is the sense of urgency that you have appreciated to get the aircrafts? Please. All right? Then, I'm coming point by point, ma'am. Let them have the patience to hear it. Then, the question I want to ask here, yes, I'm answering that. Madam,
Don't listen to them.
there is a minimum period, ma'am. Madam Speaker,
आज क्या हो गया? नहीं, कुछ नहीं, बैठिए. आज क्या हो गया? ये क्या हो रहा है? बैठो ना, आपसे नहीं ऐसे.
Madam Speaker, there is a minimum period required for the production of any such complex platforms.
अभी just now she has started. बैठिए.
The assumption that these fighters,
अभी तो शुरू किया है. प्लीज बैठिए. क्या हो रहा है? No, this is not proper. Nothing will go on record. Only minister statement. Yes,
Madam.
you go ahead. You go ahead.
Madam, there is a minimum period required for the production of any complex platforms. The assumption that these fighters,
ये हंगामे में
I'm
बात
responding,
करने
madam.
की. I can't help it. Yes.
The assumption that these fighters are available off the shelf is really mistaken. None of this is available off the shelf. The IGA was signed
आपको भी
on
बताना चाहूंगी.
23rd
मैं आपको भी
September
बताना चाहूंगी.
2016.
बहुत देर तक सबका डिस्कशन हुआ है. हर एक आप थोड़ा सा रखना नहीं. यू विल हैव टू लिसन डिफेंस मिनिस्टर. आप पूरा करने दीजिए. पूरा देखिए तो सही. ये तरीके नहीं होते हैं बीच बीच में टोकने के.
The intergovernmental agreement
Conclude.
was signed on 23rd September 2016, and the first aircraft will be delivered in 3 years from that date, and the last aircraft will come in 2022. The first aircraft will be delivered in 3 years. In 3 years from 2016, that is in 2019, this year September, you will have the first aircraft, and the 36th aircraft will be here in 2022. Even in the MMRCA, even in the 126 MMRCA proposal, the first aircraft was to be delivered in 3 years from the date of signature of contract. Even in the MMRCA, that was a condition. In the IGA, considering the necessity of an early procurement, the process of negotiation were completed in 14 months' time. The process of negotiation did not run for 10 years, madam. The process of negotiation did not run for 10 years. We finished it in 14 months.
Yes.
And the delivery of the 36th aircraft will be here within. The 36th aircraft has been advanced by 5 months. It has been advanced by 5 months as compared to the MMRCA proposal. Now, I also want to say, ma'am, if this is the way in which, if this is the way facts are frightening them, let me tell you, there are more facts which can frighten them even more. They have to have the patience to hear us now. Then, I would want to ask one question, madam, here, which I'm sure is going to make them shout even more, but I would like to request them to hear the facts. The then RM said to the media, where is the money? The then RM said in the media on 6th of February 2014, the then RM said, we can't buy, where is the money? He said it outside of parliament. I want to ask, madam, one minute. I want to ask, madam, the RM then said outside of this parliament premises, where is the money? I want to ask, what money? Which money? Which money, madam? I want to ask which money?
The deal money.
Probably the deal money. I want to ask, madam, because the Raksha Mantri or the Mantralaya prepares a detailed schedule even as the contract negotiating committees go about negotiating finer details as to how the payment should be made once the agreement is signed. Assume agreement is signed today, and I use the word T0 for that. Today's agar this agreement is signed today, we use the expression time zero. We start from now. The planning in the ministry, is done in such a way that when T0, that is when you sign the agreement, you have not signed it already. But when you sign the agreement at T0, you have to pay 15% advance. Then T0 say plus 6 months. T0 plus 6 months, you have to pay another something. T0 plus 8 months, you have to do. So, the point that I want to tell here is the timeline for the payment, the quantum of payment, the percentage of the total cost of the payment for the aircraft, separately for the weapon system, are all well prepared and kept in the ministry. You cannot come at that time when you're saying, Madam, interestingly, we are also repeatedly told and reminded, the company's CEO said 95% the deal was all through, only 5%. We couldn't complete that 5%. On all that is reminded to us saying we were almost at the verge of completing the agreement, which means they knew also the payment schedules. They also have made a provision in the ministry for it. And in February 2014, how did the Raksha Mantri come out to say, where is the money? Which money is he talking about? Which money is he talking about? So, they did not intend buying the aircraft till something else was done. Madam, let me tell you here one thing. There is a difference between defense dealings and dealing in defense. We don't do defense dealings. We deal with defense with national security as a priority. Now again, go back to the process and procedure. 2011, 2011, if everything was complete and they were going to finalize the deal in 126 MMRCA, let me tell this. The commercial bid was opened, madam. Commercial bid was opened. And then, this is 126 MMRCA story that I'm telling you, finally, which did not get into an agreement stage. The non-deal, 2011, the commercial bid for 126, which started in 2001, 10 years later, was opened. L1, Dassault Aviation became the L1. And the then RM directed, in fact, let me tell you this, directed independent monitors to examine this issue as to how L1 emerged like this. He asked an independent set of monitors to check up as to why L1 was whoever. Okay, Ji? And then the reason stated for appointing independent monitors, and I quote here, he said, in the context of the letters received and issues raised related to the L1 vendor, let there be an independent monitor who will go into this to check up if everything is all right. All right, madam? After that, look at the fate. That's what? Look, plane कब आएगा? इसका चरित्र मैं बोल रही हूँ कि plane नहीं आया उनके जमाने में. Independent monitor. हमारे जमाने में इस सितंबर में पहुंच रहे जी. आप इंतजार करिए.
चलेगा जमाना.
Independent monitors, madam. Independent monitor who was appointed by the Raksha Mantri then cleared the process. The independent monitor appointed by the Raksha Mantri to look into how the L1 was emerging like that cleared the process. Independent monitor cleared it. Then in June 2012, even after the independent monitor clearing the process, they did not buy it. Even after the independent monitor clearing the process, they did not buy it. Why? There was a reason. There is a reason.
कितने की डील हो रही थी इनके समय? क्यों रुका रहा? अरे आप खामोश क्यों हो?
Madam, I'll read this for you. Even after the independent monitors cleared it, he said, and I quote here, the commercial negotiation by the Contract Negotiating Committee, CNC, may proceed to complete its deliberation. Exactly the point which former Raksha Mantri, current Finance Minister, yesterday elaborated. I am giving you the exact matter there. He said, while on the one hand, you cleared it, on the other, you said, come for review. FM did say about it. I want to give that quote before you, madam. The commercial negotiation by the Contract Negotiating Committee may proceed to complete its deliberations with the L1 vendor and finalize its report. After the CNC report has been finalized, the entire issue of approach and methodology adopted by the CNC to determine the L1 vendor may be re-examined by the MOD Finance and MOD to ascertain that it is reasonable, appropriate and as per laid down procedure.
Yes.
At what stage is he saying this? At what stage is he saying it? After the L1 is opened. Is this the way a bidding contract happens, madam? Anyone who deals with it. This is a matter of national security. And in this, forgetting the importance of having to buy it in time, this is the kind of kilward which was going on because something didn't suit them. Something didn't suit them. You just have a commercial bid anywhere. After the bid is opened, will there be any interference? They are now talking about interference from the PMO. This is interference because somebody did not receive something somewhere. This is the interference. This is the interference. You stop the deal forgetting that the Air Force was suffering. So, we should be clear. When you didn't get it because it didn't suit you, the deal didn't suit you, the deal didn't give you what? Money.
Why was it in Bible?
My
Why was it
and when I raise these questions, I raise it because the Congress party now should stand up not to ask questions but to reply to each one of what I'm asking them. Who was it who did not settle with you that you couldn't conclude this deal? You couldn't conclude this deal. National interest was thrown away. National security was not cared for.
Yes.
Madam, I allege, even as I am answering each one of their questions that they have raised, I allege, you're not even hearing, yaar. You're not even hearing because you're scared of facts. Madam, I charge and I allege, as I elaborate these things, I allege they did not even intend buying. They kept the motions going, but they did not intend buying. National security was at risk. It didn't matter to them. Their treasury's security was important. Their treasury's security was important. Now I go to the next one, madam. When the deal could not be concluded, let's go. RV. RV. For every AA, there is an RV. All right? Let's not forget. For every AA, there is an RV. RV. Madam. Madam. Oh yeah, I forgot. For every AA, I'm sorry madam, I forgot. For every AA, there's just not an RV, there's a queue also. So, abbreviations to entertain the house may be easy. Abbreviations for the convenience and for the joke, it could be easy for anybody. It's a double-edged sword, it can come back. Madam, let me also say, since now, RV is not Damad of Prime Minister, it is the Damad of the country. Madam, Q was somebody on whose lap none of us grew, all right? Q was somebody on whose lap somebody else grew. Madam, they were two clearly unresolved issues, madam. There were two unresolved issues as to when this deal was deadlocked. Two unresolved issues. One is, Dassault Aviation could not tie it up with HAL to produce the 108. Listen to the facts. 108 aircrafts were to be manufactured with the transfer of technology, and HAL was to be producing it. They could not come to an agreement. They may say, oh, you deserted HAL. But they did not conclude. There was no agreement signed with HAL. All right. There was no agreement of Dassault with the HAL, and therefore they need not constantly shed crocodile tears for HAL. I'd like to tell them there was no agreement signed. What were the two issues which were unresolved? One was Dassault, when they wanted the 108 aircrafts to be produced in HAL, during the negotiations were told that 2.7 times higher man hours are required by HAL for producing the same Rafale, which, if it was to be produced in France, would have been less expensive, because in India, if you were to produce it, it requires 2.7 times more man-hour. That was one thing. Second thing, I am talking about the 126 which they couldn't conclude. I am talking about the 126 which couldn't. Dassault, non-deal, the non-deal, Dassault also did not stand guarantee for the 108 which were to be produced by HAL. Meaning, one, they needed more man hours. Two, they also did not want to stand, Dassault did not want to stand guarantee for those Rafale which are being produced by HAL in India, which means India would be, end of the day, buying 108 Rafale produced in HAL, and mind you, the consumer, who is Indian Air Force, will be buying it without a guarantee being issued. by the original equipment manufacturer. Huh? Therefore, this involved, and rightly this issue remained unresolved. And therefore, the deal with HAL, about which today you have crocodile tears by the day, particularly by the Congress party, they did not strike the deal, they could not settle this matter. But today, they shed, standing opposite the Chowk in Bengaluru HAL unit, they shed crocodile tears. I want to ask, much before I move to specific question of why they couldn't sort it out, there is an HAL unit in Amethi, led by senior member of parliament who all of us respect, Mallikarjun Kharge ji. Along with him, member of parliament Rahul Gandhi ji goes to HAL Bengaluru, stands at the Chowk opposite HAL and says, square or circle or whatever, stands there to say, Rafael, is your right. You should have produced it. Statement there. Very well, you made the statement. But I want to say, Shri Mallikarjun Kharge ji is also the member of the standing committee which looked into various issues related to defense production. I am reading from the standing committee's report, madam. I am quoting from the standing committee report, madam. I am reading from the standing committee report, madam. The committee are disappointed. I am reading from the standing committee report. The committee are disappointed to note that even after almost 3 decades, not 2014, 15, 16, 17, after 3 decades, the ADA has not been able to develop the indigenous aircraft as per requirement of the IAF to combat potential and serviceability, and opined that not fulfilling of requirements of the users has rendered investment of both time and money in the project so far infructuous. Standing committee quoted the report. HAL, all right, that's one thing. HAL produces the Tejas, all right. Second, and HAL ka mamla is not new to the government then. In 2013, the same standing committee says for HAL, because they were not able to scale up faster, the number of waivers, the government at that time chose to give waivers for the non-performance of HAL rather than look at improving the performance of HAL. Madam, if you are really worried about that DPSU, which is a public sector undertaking under the Ministry of Defense, you will do everything that it takes to make that up and ready for meeting all challenges. But in 2013, the government then, instead of doing anything to improve that HAL ka halat, has only given them waivers. How many waivers? Not one, not two. ADA obtained from them altogether 53 temporary waivers and concessions. 53 concessions, which means you are accommodating everything that HAL the weaknesses, the problems, the challenges, none of them you will address, but you will go on giving them waivers and cry crocodile tears now when the government is ours. You did not do anything at that time. I'll give you one more. I will give you one more, and that is a list which the standing committee has given about the number of extensions that this government, UPA government, has given for HAL. Rather than improving their capacity, rather than investing in them, rather than improving their performance, they go about giving waivers, and this is recorded. You've given this. It is recorded in the standing committee. If you really are caring about HAL, you will improve them. You will invest in them. You will try to talk to experts to make it better. You didn't do any of that. Madam, I want to now tell you, if HAL, I'm repeating this allegation. I'm repeating this allegation, madam. If you really wanted to do something for the HAL during 2005 and 14, you have not done a thing. I'll give you the list of things we have done. Presently, following procurement orders are in the pipeline for the HAL. 83 LCA Tejas fighter ka order worth 50,000 crore. 15 combat helicopter ka order worth 3,000 crore. 200 Kamo helicopter ka order 20,000 crore. 19 Dornier transport aircraft ka order 3,400 crore. Other helicopters 15,000 crore. Aero engines 8,400 crores. All of them put together totals to 1 lakh crores, which we have given for HAL. Who goes and sheds crocodile tears?
इन्होंने कुछ नहीं दिया। घड़ियालों वाले बाहर निकले। अध्यक्ष जी।
Madam, further, you talk about Tejas capacity. HAL's capacity. Madam, facts. Facts are frightening them. More facts. HAL capacity of Tejas production. HAL capacity for Tejas production has been doubled. HAL's capacity has been doubled from 8 aircrafts to 16 aircrafts per year. It was producing only 8. And all those who shed crocodile tear for HAL didn't do anything to scale it up. We have now increased it from 8 to 16, madam. Order also for a further 40 Tejas fighter planes have been placed with HAL. And between 2016 and 10, for the 40 that they placed, only 8 have been supplied till now, and they didn't bother about it. No one asked them. No one asked HAL, have you got a problem? Can we solve it for you? I gave you order for 43. How come you're only giving me 8? Can we do something? No, they didn't do any of that. Till they left in 14, only 8 have been supplied. If really you're worried about HAL, what did you do to improve its capacity? What did you invest in them? Nothing. And that is why I repeat, there is an HAL in Amethi. Has the honorable member gone there, visited, seen, asked them what is the challenge? No. You go shed crocodile tears in Bengaluru. So, the real truth behind what is really the concern is coming out. Now, you didn't intend buying, I repeat, madam. I'll come to the next man. Now, repeatedly we are being told We were planning to get 126, 18 in flyaway condition, and the rest were going to be made in India.
100-year plan.
Huh? They did not do buying of 18 flyaway, nor did they agree to make in India. They finished because something didn't suit them. Now they are saying, who gave the Prime Minister the authority to reduce 126 to 36? Let them understand that they also were planning to buy only 18, which is one squadron worth, in flyaway condition, and the rest was to be manufactured. Now what we are telling you is, instead of one squadron, which is 18, in that account we will get 2 squadrons, which is 36 flyaway. Now you're misleading the country. You're misleading the country. You're misleading the country by saying Modi ji reduced 126 to 36. No, madam. Your 18 has been increased to 36, and that is coming this year in flyaway condition. So, madam, if only the former Raksha Mantri sits and gives them a clear picture of how these decisions are made, 126 doesn't come down to 36. Compare with your 18 flyaway, which you were planning to buy but you never bought, with our 36, which is coming September 2019. All right, ma'am? 18, all right? All right, ma'am? Then, the first one, 2 squadrons, whenever there is emergency purchase, whenever there is emergency press, madam, whenever there is an emergency purchase which has to be made, there is very clearly in this country, because IAF advises so, whether it is for our government or any other government earlier, emergency purchases normally are 2 squadrons. Emergency purchases are always 2 squadrons. Now, I will just, for the record, madam, give you all previous examples of how 2 squadrons were by. Hey, Sindhya ji, baithiye, Paramani. Listen to some facts. Don't get excited. There are more facts coming. Huh? 1982, when Pakistan, when 1982, when Pakistan was buying F-16s, rightly, Indian government then decided to buy 2 squadrons of MiG-23 MF, 2 squadrons from the erstwhile Soviet Union. Okay, one example of 2 squadrons being bought. Second, in 1985, madam, again, because of the emergency which was developing in the neighborhood, 2 squadrons were bought of Mirage 2000, and they were acquired from France. Now, again, third, in 1987, madam. So, 1982, 1985, 1987, again, 2 squadrons were bought from Soviet Union, again, MiG-29. So, buying 2 squadron or 36 is not because somebody chose to do it. Indian Air Force normally advises the government, whichever government, if there is an emergency purchase, it has to be 2, because that's the number with which they can adjust. And therefore, even this time, instead of that 18 which they were thinking in terms of getting flyaway, we bought on the advice of Air Force 36 flyaway. So who reduced it to 2? This is how it comes down. Earlier also a lot of number of times 2 squadrons equivalent has been bought. 18 has been Who reduced it to 2 is your question, yaar. Please listen. 18 has been enhanced to 36. 18 has been enhanced to 36. 18 flyaway. 18 flyaway has been enhanced to 36. And for the rest, which they could not buy, we have issued the RFP. All right, ma'am? Now, the other question. I would like to ask the other question, madam. Now again, HAL, Make in India, they're shedding tears to us, where you bought 1 squadron 18, we have enhanced it to 36 2 squadron. All right? 18 has been increased to 36, madam. But I ask this question. HAL, madam, this kind of running commentary is unnecessary, madam. Running commentary is telling me clearly they are not interested in the facts. Madam, now I let...
Don't listen to anything, you go on. Don't listen
All
to
right.
these things.
Now,
Yes.
I'll give you the other one, madam. I'll give you the other example and question, madam. You're worried about HAL? Huh? You're shedding crocodile tears. My question is, today you're now severely under the heat because Christian Michael has come into India. He's going to speak a lot on Augusta Westland. Yes? What is Augusta Westland giving you? Helicopters, no? Helicopters, right? Why couldn't you give that helicopter order to HAL? Why did you go to Augusta Westland? Because HAL won't give you anything. HAL will give you helicopters, it won't give you anything else. Whereas Augusta Westland, today you have to get Michael to say what else was given. HAL won't give you anything else. Augusta Westland. Okay. Now, ma'am, this entire campaign has been on falsehoods and totally irresponsible allegations. Total irresponsible allegations. I ask a few questions now. Congress is lying repeatedly, and I want to say asatya bol rahe hain, because I remember unparliamentary words were used against the Prime Minister, and in that you also brought into the picture a former head of a government somewhere else. I want to ask a question here, madam. We were told by Congress spokesperson, I'm not naming anybody, that we shall not be talking on Rafale because it's an internal matter. I'd like to give you the exact quote on it. Madam, on March 9th, before Honorable Member Rahul Gandhi ji met the French President Macron, Congress's spokesperson told the media, and I quote here, Congress will not discuss India's defense deals with a foreign head of state. This is an internal matter, and this discussion the government has to do with France and not us. Sane words. This was uttered by the Congress spokesperson. Now, all right? Huh? And here, I'm giving you a quote which on July 20th in the Parliament, on July 20th, Shri Rahul Gandhi says, and I quote here, I asked the French president about this secrecy pact, but he denied the existence of any such pact. He even told me that he has no issues in making the cost public. Unquote. Who is truthful is the Congress spokesperson who said the Congress Adhyaksh they will not meet and talk about this, whereas now he himself in July says I spoke to him, he also said I have no difficulty. So one of them is misleading this country. One of them is misleading this country, and if this is true, I want proof for it. If this statement of the Congress president on the floor of the House that the former president of France said that the secrecy pact, if that conversation happened, let me have a verified copy, authenticated copy in the table of the House. Let there be an authenticated copy left on the floor. You can't say one thing on the floor of the House and have your spokesperson say something else. And therefore, I want to say, Congress is building this whole thing on falsehoods, untruths, and also misleading the entire country. I will want to say now that you say one thing in the parliament, your leaders say another outside, and you're misleading this country both in the House and outside. And any conversation that you've had with any leader outside, give me an authenticated copy here. Otherwise, you cannot be quoting their name. Madam, this entire campaign has been built on falsehoods and misleading the nation with untruths. And every time we come up to give a response, they're not even hearing. They're not even hearing the facts. When I've already pointed out how one thing was being said outside and one another thing was being said inside. I'll give you another example of how everybody is called a liar. One senior Congress leader, who's also a member of this House, called the Air Force chief as liar. You call the Prime Minister, you call the Raksha Mantri, and a senior leader also charges the air chief as lying. I mean, is there a limit? Now, they only stopped short of calling the Supreme Court that they've done everything wrong. I want to now ask the question, are they so irresponsible? I hope irresponsible is a word you'll accept in the parliament. Are they so irresponsible that they even go to Pakistan asking for help? One of the very senior member of the Congress party, who's not here, I'm not naming him, everybody will know, went to Pakistan to say, इनको हटाइए, मोदी सरकार को हटाने के लिए हमें मदद कीजिए. He's gone and spoken to Pakistan. Another leader also speaks about how this government has not really been helpful for them. All right? Now, by asking the weapon details and the other details of the aircraft that you're buying in the parliament, which I repeat, the weaponry air package details are definitely covered under the Secrecy Act. I repeat it. And therefore, also remind the Congress, how many times before have they not invoked the secrecy clause and said, sorry, in the national interest, we will not say this. So what is new about that? We have given, and I repeat, I've been reminded periodically that you said you'll disclose the price. Yes, the basic aircraft price has already been disclosed. We stand by that. But to ask the price of weaponry, to ask the price of the air package, avionics and everything else is certainly covered under the Secrecy Act. Ma'am, let me now, before going to the next part, let me now say, if they are really serious about getting the details, if they are serious about getting the facts on this, I want to tell you, when we were replying, when the former Raksha Mantri, Finance Minister was replying, what was happening in this house, ma'am? I would want to remind you, ma'am, it's with a great deal of disappointment and grief, I like to say, you wanted the debate on Rafale. We wanted to come and participate in it. You had the former Raksha Mantri speak, and we were going with the debate. What was the scene here, madam? Not of what was happening in the well, but also of other things which I would draw your attention. If really we are serious about this debate in the interest of the national security, people were taking photographs, madam. People were taking photographs of one another sitting in the opposition desks. People were passing papers to say, make aircrafts, arrow and throw it at Finance Minister. This was happening, madam. If you're really serious about getting the reply which the former Raksha Mantri, present Finance Minister, was giving, was it not happening there? Was it happening not there? And when this was happening, sarcastically, I've been told, are you hiding under those ADMK members? But today when I respond to his legitimate quotations, people want to give clarification. Today they are left without even the fig leaf of those members here to hide for all the falsehood that they've been putting against the government, for all the untruths that they've said against. They don't even have the fig leaf of these members in the well who can give them that hiding cover. You stand up to say, where is the Raksha Mantri hiding behind? You don't even have that fig leaf today. You can't hide it anywhere. I'm giving you the facts. On the pricing, madam, I would want to tell you, madam, on the pricing, I would want to tell you, how many times we've heard prices being quoted by the Congress. How many times? And in that, what is the consistency, madam, with which these prices are being quoted? I would like to remind, if they are serious, let at least the seriousness be shown in everything that they say. 29th January, Jan Akroshan Rally, Delhi. Jan Akrosh Rally, thank you, yes. My Hindi is very poor, yeah. Thank you for correcting. Jan Akrosh Rally, Delhi, 700 crore is the price that they put on us. 20th July in Parliament, 520 crores, saying that's their price. August 11th in the public rally in Raipur, 540 crores. August 13th in Hyderabad, 526 crores. I want to ask them, do they at least know what they're talking about? Have they at least sat with the Raksha Mantri to find out? No. This is the kind of inconsistency. Throw anything at them and expect that to answer. So I would want to say, Congress party should do its homework before they even start telling us what they have to. The next, pricing again. Madam, 670 crores has already been disclosed in the Parliament for the basic price. Whereas they say 526 crores. I want to tell you, there is nowhere any documentary evidence on what is the price. I want to tell you, 526 crore I'm talking about. I'm talking about the 526 crore which they quote as an MMRCA price. 526 crore which they quote as MMRCA price. I want to tell you, listen to the facts. There is no confirmation for that price that they are quoting. This is our price. There is no confirmation that it is 526 crore per aircraft in the official documents. From where are they getting that? God knows. But I'll also give you some more. As already intimated in the Parliament, we have said The basic price under the IGA is 670 crore per aircraft, basic price. Now, will you want to compare like with like, or will you want to compare one apple and one orange? I would like to tell you here. If it is a like to like, listen. Yeah, listen, I'm answering you. In a like to like comparison, madam, the price obtained in the 126 medium multi-role combat aircraft, about which they are constantly talking, the non-deal, the price would be 737 crores. The price obtained in the intergovernmental agreement that we have signed in 2016, and that price, which is already disclosed, the 670 crores, is about 9% lower than that 126 MMRCA basic price. We have got a better deal, madam, for this country. For this country, we have got a better deal. All right? Then go further. Go further. Comparing the cost of 526 crore with 1,600 crore, comparing the cost of 526 crore with 1,600 crore is like comparing apples to oranges. Because, is it right, I ask, to quote a cost that is not substantiated? I told you 526 is nowhere, but anyway, you didn't even have an agreement, but you're quoting that. It's not substantiated. Where no contract has been finalized, all right? It seems that the cost which is being quoted, the 526, is somewhat probably referring to a quote which was given in 2007, which exists somewhere as a quote. They have taken it upon themselves to say that's their deal price. Will it remain the same in 2011? Will it remain in 2014? I'm coming to that. Be patient, okay? Will it remain? I'm coming to that line. Will it remain? Will it remain the same in 2011? Will it remain the same in 2014? Will it remain the same in 2015? Will it remain the same in 2016? Because there was an escalation cost. There was an escalation rate. There is an escalation cost which is put in each one, and also the exchange rate variation which has to be taken on to be calculated. The price of a basic aircraft, madam, I would want you to please get some order in the house. I'm after all answering them. And they don't want to have some answers given to them. They are more keen on disturbing me rather than wanting to hear the facts. If they're keen, they should listen to the facts and not shout me down. And unbelievable. I'm answering their question. Madam, escalation cost. Will you? Madam, I'll tell you, madam. Will escalation?
आप बैठो कुछ नहीं बोले
मैडम escalation cost
आपकी मिनिस्टर बहुत अच्छा दे रही है जवाब तो कुछ नहीं बोलने दो
I'm responding to you, madam.
Yes.
Escalation or exchange rate variations not work? Will escalation or exchange rate variations not work? The price of a basic aircraft cannot be compared with a battle-ready aircraft, with weaponry, with electronic warfare equipments, with maintenance, with spares, with test equipments, and other associated costs. So let us not compare apples with oranges. Your 526, the 526 that they're quoting should be compared with 737, which is their basic aircraft's cost. So 670 with 737 is very clear. Now, madam, I'll go over. Ma'am, I'll come to the processes. I want to highlight about process. I like to talk about the process. They keep talking, having gone to the court.
Basic courtesies. The gentleman has no basic courtesies. and on the basis of falsehood, their demands are absolutely ridiculous.
Madam,
He needs to learn some basic courtesies.
ये खड़गे जी की गलती है, उनको बोलने का
ma'am,
समय नहीं
I
मिलता।
now talk about
मुझे भुगत
the negotiations.
Madam, is
The negotiations.
not being made CM
The negotiations with the French side, because process is very important. Negotiations with the French side were conducted from May 2015 to April 2016. Negotiating team was constituted to negotiate the terms and conditions, madam, for the procurement of 36 Rafale aircraft with the French government. The Indian negotiating team was headed by the Deputy Chief of Air Staff of Indian Air Force, and it comprised of Joint Secretary and Acquisitions Manager Air, Joint Secretary Defense Offset Management Wing, Joint Secretary and Additional Financial Advisor, Finance Manager Air, Advisor Cost, and the Assistant Chief of Air Staff as members from Indian government side. The French government side was headed by Director General of Armament, DGA, Ministry of Defense of the Government of France. 74 meetings were held, which included 48 internal INT meetings, 26 external INT meetings with the French side, and they were held throughout, as I said, between May 2015 and April 2016. Now, all the 7 members of the INT signed the report which was produced by the INT, which also indicated better terms and conditions that were arrived at as a result of the negotiation. INT report, and the better terms are compared with the terms which were of the 126 MMRCA. Now, INT report was finalized and signed on 21st July 2016, madam. Let me underline the fact the Joint Secretary concerned, who stated to have raised objections. Now I'll address this. Who stated to have raised some objections, because during the negotiations a lot of opinions are recorded also. We didn't hide anybody's viewpoint. But that Joint Secretary, who they love quoting, saying, oh, he differed from the whole process, was the one who also signed, all the 7 members signed the report, and he was the one to sign the draft which went for the CCS approval. So don't constantly raise that question without hearing the reply. During the discussions, a lot of things are said and they are recorded. They are not hidden. They are not wiped off. But it is that same Joint Secretary who signed the CCS report which went to the CCS for approval. And he also, along with the 6 others who make up for the 7 members totally, also signed the contract negotiating committee's, INT's report. So, misleading this country with false information, sorry, will not gel. This is the truth. Ma'am, I also want to now say, constant reference, madam, to why wasn't there a bank guarantee? Why wasn't there a sovereign guarantee? Listen to the answers which I'm giving on specific questions that you've raised. Why sovereign guarantee was not taken? I want to give you an answer for that, madam. I can cite at least 2 previous examples. I will like to cite it first and then tell you what we've got here. You need answers, right? No bank guarantee was provided or is being provided for any foreign military sales, contracts which are signed between Government of India and the US government. That's one example where there was no sovereign guarantee. 2, no bank guarantees are provided even in the Rosoboron export of Russia, from where I was happy to hear Dharmendra Yadav ji say that we bought from Russia, and that was bought during Honorable Mulayam Singh ji when he was Raksha Mantri. And because Shri Atal Bihari Vajpayee ji was his graceful self, said very good words in praise. Agreed. Of course, we are not fortunate to have such graceful people who can appreciate in our opposition now. But the fact remains, where you have bought from Russia, you didn't have a sovereign guarantee then also. Dharmendra Yadav ji should be reminded that even in that case, there was no sovereign guarantee. In this case, I would like to tell you, the letter of comfort about which everybody shouts, I want to say it's been signed by the French Prime Minister. They have also stated that these constitute a unique and unprecedented level of involvement of the French government, which has been decided in coherence with the strategic partnership between India and France. So it's not anything small, madam, an IGA, intergovernmental agreement with this kind of a guarantee, when they themselves have purchased without any sovereign guarantee. Today, with a guarantee like this, with an intergovernmental agreement, they keep asking that question. Take the reply now. Factual reply now. Madam, then I would want to ask you, sorry, madam, I'm taking my time about answering because this is an issue which has captured the attention because of the misleading campaign of the Congress. I would want to tell you now. Yes. Supreme Court, the judgment which has been given by the court. Manya Kharge ji quoted paragraph 12 of the Supreme Court judgment, which mentions that it was also made clear, I'm reading what he had said, I'll quote it from the judgment itself, madam. It was also made clear that the issue of pricing or matters related to technical suitability of the equipment would not be given into the court, by the court, would not be gone into by the court. He said this and said, in fact, I'm saying, I have already said that in referring to the court, Shri Mananiya Kharge ji has said this, and I'm repeating that so that I can answer that. I want to read from the judgment. This is the judgment, ma'am. I'm reading it from their judgment. I'm coming from the conclusion, but I'll go into relevant paragraphs which Kharge ji has rightly referred to. In the conclusion, the Supreme Court order says, paragraph 34, I quote, in view of our findings on all the three aspects. Here I'll come out of the court. The three aspects are, the writ was asking on price, process, and the Indian offset partner. I quote now, in view of our findings on all the three aspects, and having heard the matter in detail, we find no reason for any intervention by this court on the sensitive issue of purchase of 36 defense aircraft by the Indian government. Perception of individuals cannot be. I'm coming, madam. Perception of individuals cannot be the basis of a fishing or roving inquiry. Perception, I repeat, perception of individuals cannot be the basis of a fishing and roving inquiry by this court, especially in such matters. We thus dismiss all the writ petitions, leaving it to the parties to bear their own costs, unquote. This is one, madam. Second, also again talking about the process. In this process, now I'm quoting again, madam, from the Supreme Court, paragraph 33. I'll come. paragraph 33, quote, I'll come to that. In this, quote, in this process, the role of the government, in this process, I repeat, the role of the government is not envisaged, and thus mere press interviews or suggestions cannot form the basis for judicial review by this court, especially when there is a categorical denial of the statements made in the press by both the sides. We do not find any substantial material on record to show that this is a case of commercial favoritism to any party by the Indian government, as the option to choose the IOP does not rest with the Indian government, unquote. Now, this is the second I want to draw your attention. Now, third, I'll come to the next quote, madam. On the price details, I'm reading paragraph 26. Paragraph 26, madam. Quote. Quote.
सुप्रीम कोर्ट ऑर्डर है भैया.
Quote. We have examined closely. We have examined closely the price details and the comparison of the prices of the basic aircraft. Madam, I'm repeating this. Quote, we have examined closely the price details and the comparison of the prices of the basic aircraft along with escalation costs as under the original RFP as well as under the intergovernmental agreement. We have also gone through the explanatory note on the costing item wise. And then after a few lines, they continue to say, we say no more as the material has to be kept in a confidential domain.
No, madam.
Unquote. All right?
Not the job of this court.
All right? Now I come to the third one.
It matters like the present.
Now I come to the third one, ma'am. The paragraph 25. The paragraph 25. Paragraph 25. Paragraph 25. Quote. The material placed. The paragraph 25. The material placed before us shows that the government has not disclosed pricing details other than the basic price aircraft. Paragraph 25. I repeat, madam. I repeat from paragraph 25 of the Supreme Court. The material placed before us shows that the government has not disclosed pricing details. I wish, madam, I hope I'm able to you're able to hear me, madam. The material placed before us shows that the government has not disclosed pricing details other than the basic price of the aircraft, even to the parliament, on the ground that sensitivity of pricing details could affect national security, apart from breaching the agreement between the two countries, unquote. I'm reading paragraph number 25. I would want the honorable member to listen to this and understand we have not misled the court. We have not misled the court. And this paragraph tells you that. Paragraph 25. Then, paragraph 25 again. Paragraph 25 again. I quote again. The pricing details are stated to be covered by Article 10 of the IGA between the Government of India and the government of France on... I'm reading paragraph 25, madam. If only the honorable member can sit down and listen. Paragraph 25, madam. The pricing details are stated to be covered by Article 10 of the IGA between the Government of India and the Government of France on purchase of Rafale aircrafts, which provides that the protection of classified information and material exchanged under the IGA would be governed by the provisions of the security agreement signed between both the governments on 25th January 2008. Despite the reluctance, material has still been placed. Despite the reluctance, the material has still been placed before the court to satisfy its conscience. Yesterday, the finance minister referred to that. I want to say that.
1 minute, please.
Pricing again, madam. Supreme Court again. Paragraph 24. Pricing. Court, pricing, madam. Paragraph 24 from...
Only your statement will be on record.
All right, thank you. Paragraph 24.
मैडम बौखला गए, इनके पास कुछ तत्व नहीं है, झूठ के आधार पे जीतने के अलावा इनके पास कुछ नहीं है।
I quote, madam.
आदत पड़ गई है घूस खाने की।
I quote, the challenge. I quote, madam, the challenge to the pricing of the aircrafts. Very important, madam. Please listen to this. The quote, the challenge to the pricing of the aircrafts by the petitioners is sought to be made on the ground that there are huge escalations in costs as per the material in public domain, as found in magazines and newspapers. We did initially express our disinclination to even go into the issue of pricing. However, by a subsequent order, to satisfy the conscience of the court, it was directed that details regarding the costs of the aircrafts should also be placed in sealed covers before the court. I go to paragraph 25 in continuation. The material placed before us shows, I'm quoting again, the material placed before us shows that the government has not disclosed pricing details other than the basic price of aircraft even to the parliament. So we have not lied to the court. I reread that line. Paragraph 25 says this. The material placed before us shows that the government has not disclosed pricing details other than the basic price of the aircraft even to the parliament on the ground that sensitivity of pricing details could affect national security, apart from breaching the agreement between the two countries. So this paragraph very clearly tells you, Honourable Deputy Speaker, that we have not misled the court, and they acknowledge that we have not given any more details other than the basic price. Now, and then, in paragraph 22, our country, I quote again, our country cannot afford to be underprepared in a situation where our adversaries are stated to have acquired not only fourth generation, but even fifth generation aircrafts, of which we have none, unquote. Now, if this is what the Supreme Court has said, we constantly have these opposition parties telling us that you misled the court, and this is unfair. You are unfair to court also. Now, I'll come to the end, Deputy Speaker, sir. There are many questions which I would wish to answer, but very importantly, I want to say, we have asked for, or we have applied to the court, not before, we have not waited for the Congress to do a press conference, but on our own, we have next morning gone to the Supreme Court asking for a correction. Now, I'll come to the details on that, sir, because it's been raised by quite a few members. I can name Mohammed Salim ji, who probably is not here, Jaydev Galla ji, who's not here, and also Kharge ji. On perusal of the detailed order from the court, it was observed that some contents of paragraph 25 of the judgment were factually incorrect and were not reflecting correctly the written submissions made to the Honorable Supreme Court in a sealed cover. An application for correction has been filed on 15/12/2018 in the Honorable Supreme Court. Comparison of the extracts, and that's where I want to draw your attention, Deputy Speaker. I have, from the government side, we have ensured that the paragraphs that we've quoted are produced there, and the paragraph in the verdict are also produced there in the correction appeal, and therefore said this is where the misinterpretation probably has come in. So we have not hidden what we had submitted to the court first, that we are asking for a correction. We are stating that and also stating what has been, as a result, misinterpreted by the court. So, the comparison of the extracts of the note submitted by the Union of India to the Honorable Court and paragraph 25 of the Honorable Supreme Court judgment dated 14/12, I would want to just read it before you so that you know it. Note submitted by the Union government in a sealed cover. Sir, this is a bit too much, sir. I'm responding to you. The government has already shared the pricing detail with the CAG. I want to say this. We said to the court, the government has already shared the pricing details with the CAG. The statement in the paragraph 25 says the pricing details have, however, been shared with the Controller and Auditor General, and therefore the hereinafter referred to the CAG. So, to that extent, the paragraph 25 also been there. Then, we've also very clearly said, we are also saying, sir, we are also saying to the court, some misinterpretation have happened in paragraph 25, highlighted what we have said there earlier, and appeal to the court saying, will you please correct those misinterpretations? So, we'll wait for the court to give us their verdict on that. So, the misinterpretation has not left without us going to the court on our own. If we are wrong or if we have something to hide, why will we go on our own, sir? Asking for a correction and stating what was said earlier and what has been shown in the verdict. So, let's be very clear on that. One important thing, sir. How is your agreement? How is your agreement better than what we had? I want to just very clearly say, how is your agreement better than ours? Has been repeatedly asked. Again, quite a few members spoke about it. I want to just give you a few points to say on which score, on which count, our agreement, the intergovernmental agreement, is much better than what was in the non-deal. The non-deal, which did not happen, and their terms of condition, if you compare with us, in what way we are better. I'm giving you this, sir. I've already told you that the price that they're quoting for the basic aircraft, inclusive of escalation cost and inclusive of the exchange rate between euro and rupee, if taken on board, their basic aircraft would have cost 737 crore. Whereas ours, which we have said in the parliament, others, our price, which we have stated in the parliament, is 670 crore. So, the price that we have obtained for the basic aircraft is at least 9% lesser. That is therefore, our agreement has given a better deal. Point number one. Point two, why is ours better? there is an overall improvement of 5 months in complete deliveries of the 36 Rafale aircrafts as compared to the MMRC. So delivery time has been condensed and reduced by 5 months. Therefore, that's a second point on which I would say ours is a better deal than this. Second. Third, I want to say that the initial performance-based logistics support was for 5 years for one squadron. Initial performance-based logistics support was for 5 years for one squadron. In the 36 Rafale case, the performance-based logistics support is for 5 years for 2 squadrons, and therefore ours is better. Now, next point. And this increase and betterment in the performance-based logistics support is without any additional cost. This additional performance-based logistics support, which we've obtained for 2 squadrons in the place of 1 which they had, is without any additional cost. And therefore, please remember that does not inflate the cost. Then there is also an increase in the performance-based logistics support. Thank you, Deputy Speaker, sir. Thank you, Deputy Speaker, sir. Now I continue. I've read.
पॉइंट ऑफ ऑर्डर होगा तो रूलिंग मिलेगी ना, पॉइंट ऑफ ऑर्डर है ही नहीं तो रूलिंग जाएगी मिलेगी
Sir,
पॉइंट ऑफ ऑर्डर होगा तब रूलिंग मिलेगी ना.
He is unable to explain.
thank you, sir. Thank you for your ruling there. Now I go to the next point, sir. There is an increase in the PBL support in terms of flying hours also over the earlier PBL model. Even in terms of number of flying hours, the performance-based logistic support that we've got is much better than the PBL service that they had under the MMRC. Again, that was a non-deal, but still if you want to compare, now even in terms of flying hours, we've got a better deal. Then, in terms of industrial support, sir, I want to say the French commitment for the industrial support has increased to 50 years as compared to the 40 years that their non-deal had. So our deal, the intergovernmental agreement, is much better than the non-deal which they keep quoting. So 50 years, we will have full support. Then I go to the next. Additional warranty, sir. I want to say additional warranty that we've obtained is, sir, what is this? Sir? Come on. Listen, yeah. Listen. Huh? Additional warranty, sir. The Indian side could obtain additional warranty for 3 most used aircraft for training. Those aircrafts which will be used for training, 3 of them will have additional warranty cover which we have obtained under the intergovernmental agreement. So I want to put before you, Deputy Speaker, that the terms that we have got under the IGA are far better in every count: price, delivery, maintenance, industrial support, additional warranty, other than, of course, the weapon package and advanced training, which I'm not disclosing here. All right? Then I come back to talking about one important thing which they repeatedly asked. And Honorable Member Mallikarjunji Kharge also raised this about, the CAG. I'll tell you this. The CAG is conducting the performance audit of capital acquisition of air systems, including the procurement of medium multi-role combat aircraft and the 36 Rafale. I repeat that line. Let the Congress members listen carefully. The CAG is conducting the performance. Listen here, please, kindly listen. CAG is conducting the performance audit of capital acquisition of air systems, including the procurement of medium multi-role combat aircraft and the 36 Rafale. The complete draft audit report, the complete draft audit report has been received in the Ministry of Defence in December 2018, and the response for the same is under preparation. Now, I just want to be sure that I have addressed the main issues of process about which so many people ask questions. I've given the answers on the process, Indian negotiating team. I've also said about the interference by PMO, which many people raised. Monitoring happens in every PMO about how the works are going. And if that is construed as an interference, I wonder if I take out the record of UPA time interference from the PMO, how many such things will come out? The NAC itself was running the government. Was it a legitimate body? Was that an interference or not? NAC, the National Advisory Council, was running like a kitchen cabinet. Who asked them the question about it? So that is one thing. Then, about the urgency of obtaining 36 aircraft, I've given you an answer. Pricing, I've given you the answer together with what the Supreme Court has said. I again want to go to one point which I have not referred to. Why was the Eurofighter not considered? Shri Kalikesh Narayan Singh Dev raised it. Arvind Savantji of Shiv Sena raised it. I want to give the answer for that. On 14th November 2011, I remember telling that date again, referring to the previous Raksha Mantri. I want to go back to that. The bids were opened, and 10 days after, 14th November, 10 days after the bids were opened, EADS offered an unsolicited 20% discount on its Eurofighter offer. This is during UPA regime. An unsolicited bid cannot be considered as it vitiates the sanctity of the bidding process. So therefore, the government then rightly rejected this unsolicited offer of the Eurofighter. A similar offer was again made in July 2014, after the election, after the new government came. While the negotiations with L1 vendor under 126 MMRCA case were still under progress. The scrutiny of the proposal brought out that the offer is conditional and the factual inaccuracies with respect to both claims related to the reduction and better net present value. This was an attempt by the L2 vendor to reduce his cost after having known the cost of the L1 vendor, which is grossly inappropriate. Therefore, a fresh selection process would have meant, if we had gone through that route, a fresh selection process would have meant redoing all the technical tests across platforms, which are by their very nature time-consuming and would have delayed matters further and compromised our already fragile air security scenario even more. And therefore, for all those who have asked, why didn't you go to Eurofighter? That's the answer. So I want to be clear that I've answered even that question which were raised by few members. One other question which floats around very easily and which is repeatedly asked. Qatar had procured Rafale at cheaper price. Why is yours not cheaper? I want to tell you, Madam Speaker, I want to tell you, there are different unauthenticated figures in public domain. It can relate to any country. In the absence of a detailed account about the package, including payment terms, associated weapon and equipment, maintenance terms, offsets, etc., a comparison with some other country's price, even if it relates to the same manufacturer, a comparison is difficult and can be misleading. So repeated quoting of Qatar, UAE, Egypt, any other country will not hold water. It is only to mislead the country. I would like to say that. And then we've talked about the process, we've talked about the bank guarantee, we've talked about the offsets. I've also referred to the court. And then I've clearly said that there was no agreement between Dassault and HAL. And since there was no agreement, even during their time, there was a deadlock. For us to be accused that you've left away HAL is completely wrong. I've told the whole crocodile tear story about HAL. I will not repeat it. Supreme Court matter I've also explained. So, with all this said, Madam, I just want to submit before you that the Congress party and others are keen to know the facts on Rafale. Point by point, I've presented through you, Madam, all the details about the pricing of the basic aircraft, about why the offset was not decided by us, about why the prices of weaponry cannot be disclosed unless we want to help Pakistan and any other enemies of our country, which I can see initial green shoots where people are going to Pakistan to say, help them. Maybe, I don't know, from here some people would want to exempt, I don't know. I want to just very clearly tell you, Madam, that national security considerations will have to be kept in mind. Even this morning, in an attempt to mislead the country, the Congress party has come up with some press release asking the very same questions for which I've given you in detailed reply. I want to very clearly tell you, Madam, about the benchmark price. The price was compared to the 126 MMRCA L1 offer, and the Indian negotiating team arrived at the better terms in terms of price, delivery, and maintenance of long processes of negotiation have resulted in it. There is no exchequer loss. On the contrary, we have only given you a better price. And waiver, maintenance terms, and then I've read you complete detail about the delivery schedule, discount offer for the EADS, all that which have been Qatar and Egypt, all that which has come out of today's press release from the Congress, point by point, not just for the questions which have been raised here, but for the entire press release, I've given you the answers. Now, I just want to tell you one thing, Madam. Somewhere there's a temptation, because 4 years this government has run without any corruption. Somewhere there's a desperation that how come Modi government has managed full 5 years without any corruption. Throw something at them, spit and run, accuse them, become unethical, quote even foreign governments' heads, where private conversations have happened between head of state or head of government with the former presidents. Private conversations are being used to defame the Prime Minister of this country. If anything, even in international relations, serious issues will be raised about what conversations happen between the opposition leaders with them. One, you tell us here that you're not talking about matters which are internal to India. You go discuss, quote that president saying he called you a thief. You quote that president without a proof, and you say, so-and-so president told me that Indian Prime Minister is a thief. Show us the proof. Show us the proof of that conversation with him. Otherwise, don't quote. With this kind of an attitude, Madam, I would want authenticate. And above all, I want to say this, Madam. Defense Ministry has run without dalals all the 5 years under Modi ji. We've taken critical capital acquisition decisions. Not one delay is happening. No pending acquisition is on the list. Now, if desperately, and I hate to say this, in the same breath, I do not want to talk about Bofors, because Bofors was a scam. Rafale is not. Rafale is a decision taken in national interest. And I will also want to say this. Bofors brought them down. They lost an election. Rafale will bring us back. Rafale will bring Modi back. Rafale will bring Modi back to have a new India. Rafale will bring Modi back to build a transforming India. Rafale will bring back Modi to remove the corruption which is stinking all around Congress party. Thank you for giving me this opportunity, Madam, for putting all the facts before you.